Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Ducks Unlimited. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
Sitting here in the new Studio A, trying to figure out all the quirks and all that good stuff, but we'll get it figured out. Sounds a little different, but we'll adjust. We'll adjust for the next one.
So, it's 4th of July today. Happy birthday, America. America was founded because a bunch of farmers got sick and tired of paying taxes. And now what are we doing? Paying taxes all the time.
Even more taxes now.
I saw a deal today. I'm trying to think what the statistic was. It was very interesting.
What?
There's a noise.
Fuck it. Let's go with it then. Anyway, so America was founded because people didn't want to pay taxes, and now we're paying even more taxes.
That's what started the whole thing, is they got sick and tired of King George overtaxing them.
Right.
You know, 40% taxes. Or whatever. No, it wasn't 40%. I can't remember what it was. But now that's what the average American is paying, is 40% in taxes.
It's a lot.
Well, you get taxed on everything. If you buy a car, you get taxed on the car. Then you got to pay a registration every year on it. And then you got to pay an inspection on it. And then every time you pay gas, you get taxed on that gas. Then the guy who owns a gas station gets taxed on everything else he sells. I mean, we as a nation are taxed, and the people, and that's what's funny, that never, all you ever hear about is the one percenters. The people that buy stuff are the people that get overtaxed in our country.
Right.
You know, we are taxed to death on everything we buy, but yet our government don't have any money unless Ukraine needs it.
It's a mess. That's for sure.
What do you think about us giving more money to Ukraine?
What do you mean? What do I think? You know what I think. You think it's ridiculous. How much more are we sending now?
$800 million more.
And we're broke.
I've never heard of anybody. I can't imagine living on my street and my neighbor being broke and me being broke and me going to borrow money to give him money.
Right.
Because that's a concept our country uses. Mm-hmm. And it's just over and over and over again. And people are sick and tired of that shit. I mean, tired of it. I am absolutely fed up. Just like these women on the abortion deal. And we haven't really touched on the abortion thing. And there's not really a good answer for a man on abortion, I don't think. I don't think that we're never going to have abortions, even though when they think that men can get pregnant and have periods and shit, they can't. We're not going to have an abortion. So we're not dealing with abortions like women are. And I guess there's a 10-year-old girl that got raped and is pregnant now.
Okay.
I don't
she
feel
should be
like
able to have an abortion.
I think so too. I really do. I think that she should have the right. And everybody says, well, God doesn't make mistakes and this. And I understand
He doesn't?
The evangelical side of this.
God doesn't make a mistake?
That's what the evangelicals want to say. He doesn't make a mistake. That baby was meant to be there.
What about, hold on. I mean, we can... Hold on. God made a clear miscalculation when he made us. It's pretty fucking clear.
Which one? When Adam and Eve?
Yes. You're telling me God doesn't... He wanted this perfect being. He wanted to have a relationship with these... The whole first part of the Bible is talking about how God's trying to make right his mistake with making us. We were one big accident. We were one thing that he was like... We constantly had him scratching his head. How'd that fucking snake get in there?
So
why did they eat that? Why did they eat that apple?
So you don't believe that every pregnancy is a God-determined pregnancy?
Well, just that whole narrative of God doesn't make a mistake. Well, if he didn't make a mistake, then why did he have to send his son down to pay for our sins when he made us?
Very good point. Very, very good point. That's a very good point. So the evangelicals say that every pregnancy, anybody that gets pregnant, that is God's plan and God's will.
I think that's foolishness.
A 10-year-old girl getting raped, I don't think she should have to carry the burden of having that child. She's 10 years old. Mm-hmm. I I don't agree with that part of it. Now, I don't think that the statistics show that 97% of all abortions are done to control birth control only. That's what they are.
96.5%.
Okay, so that's pretty close to 96. We'll just go 96. So only 4% of abortions out there are ones of either rape, incest, or the mother's life is in danger.
I can pull it up right quick.
I'm going to tell you a story. There was a lady that went on a missionary trip to Africa. She was pregnant. Mm-hmm. She drank some water and got dysentery and got really sick, very sick, and got a bad infection. The doctors wanted her to abort her baby in Africa.
Whew, could you imagine that?
They flew back to America. Very Christian lady. Flew back to America. 3 other times in her pregnancy, she was terribly sick, and the doctor said, "You're going to die if you don't abort this baby." Right. She didn't abort that baby.
She didn't do either?
No. You know who that baby is?
No.
Tim Tebow.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, listen, how old was she? She wasn't 10 years old. She wasn't in the 4th grade, was
Completely different story. But what I'm saying is...
That'd be like Reese getting ready to have a kid in 2 years.
Yes. No. That's a completely different story. It's a very interesting story because Tim Tebow is such a religious person.
Right.
And he's true to his convictions.
Sure.
A great guy. Why he's not... He should be the All-American boy. He should be on a Wheaties box instead of the chick with the dick that was.
Right.
I mean, he is a true American, a good Christian, a good guy, just a good person. But his mother, they wanted her to abort him because she got sick, but she was very religious and she didn't believe in it. And she said, "No, that's my baby. I'm gonna,
and that's fine.
And God bless her." But a 10-year-old girl that gets pregnant by being raped, I don't think it's fair. Now the Democrats are jumping on this. Here's a 10-year-old kid that has to, and the media makes what story, and the left and the right both are guilty of that shit. But that girl deserves to have an abortion.
If she wants it.
If she wants to have an abortion. That's her choice. She's 10 years old. I just would hate, Dylan's 8.5 years old now. I can't imagine a year and a half she getting raped and having to have a baby. Right. Just make me sick. First of all, I'd kill the bastard. You wouldn't have to worry about having a court date on him.
There's your numbers right there. Pregnancies resulting from incestuous relationships, 0.01. And we've gone over these
now,
numbers
this is in
before.
Florida.
Yes.
But that's going to be nationwide.
The state of Florida recorded a reason for every abortion. Okay,
within its borders,
yes.
But it's going to still be nationwide. It's going to be close numbers.
0.15%, the woman was raped. 0.2%, woman's life was endangered. Almost 1%, serious fetal abnormality, and then physical health was threatened. 1.5%, almost 2%. Woman's physiological health was threatened. And then you get to this: social and economic reasons.
That's 20%, that's not a reason. That's you got knocked up
and you weren't ready to have a baby.
If you shouldn't be having sex. Every one of us is guilty of that shit. I mean, everybody I know. I have been to very few weddings where there was a virgin getting married.
Yeah, you're wearing that white as a lie. You're lying to everybody.
Yes, I saw a wedding. I saw somebody's pictures on Facebook the other day in white. And I'm like,
so one thing that gets me is people that are already had a kid, and they wear white to the wedding. And the kid's like a ring bearer. Bitch, what are you doing?
You have pissed off some people on here, but it's the truth. I think the same thing.
No,
but it's an off shade of white.
We're an off shade of white. We're like a white with a stain on it.
We're fucking red lingerie up there.
Yeah. But I don't get that. It's like, who are you fooling?
Yeah.
Your fucking kid's walking the ring down the aisle. Like, calm down with the white lady. Maybe you should do a quick Google search of why women wear white to weddings. It's a sign of purity. And if your 7-year-old is walking your ring down the aisle, you're not so pure.
They some women look like a porcupine if they had as many sticking out of them as they did in them.
Yeah, settle down, lady.
I was at a high school sporting event years ago, and the drill team or somebody, they were all white. This lady there in the crowd's like, "Oh, they look like a bunch of little virgins running around." I thought, not the ones that I know out there. They have no business wearing white.
But I'll see if I can pull it up. Dr. Peterson made a really good point.
He's been canceled.
Yeah, by Twitter. We'll just wait till Elon takes over. He said abortion is clearly wrong. You can't debate that because you wouldn't recommend somebody you love have an abortion. But you need to ask yourself how you got there. Like why do you need an abortion all of a sudden? I'll see if I can pull it up and we can just hear it from him because I'm sure I'll butcher it. But he said, that's the question that you need to be asking is how did you end up there? And start changing that. Let me see. But I don't. But I mean, is it? I don't think that it's a. It's not something for the federal government to decide. I don't think. I mean,
No.
so here's
The government needs to get out of the business of the abortion business.
the Supreme Court only deals with things that are in the Constitution. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
They have construed that abortion is part of the Fourth Amendment or one of the. I don't know the amendments, so I'm going to tell you right now. If you tell me what they all are, I don't know what they are. I can't tell you exactly what they are, but the Fourth Amendment or the Seventh Amendment or one of the amendments in there basically says you have the right to a free life or something, and I don't. And they've said, well, that's abortion, healthcare. Abortion, iPhones, braces on your teeth, and fake titties are not in the Constitution.
right.
We don't owe you that shit. And now they're wanting to make it to state rights. And I believe we should have more state rights. Then we get back to the problem of slavery. And that's the big argument with abortion rights or states' rights. Well, if we go back to that, then they're going to bring back slavery. They ain't bringing back slavery. They're not bringing, and now now interracial marriages. If you got rid of all the interracial marriages in our country for the last 60 years, have you seen how many pure families are running around of one race?
Right.
I mean, how many just Germans are there? How many Czechoslovakians? Well, they don't even have Czechoslovakians no more, but they used to be. How many Polish people, Italians, Irish, black, Are blacks all the same just because they're black? Because there's blacks from all over different places. You can be Jamaica black. You can be Africa black.
Jamaica black.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a skin tone. It's not, that's it. So, they're not doing away with interracial marriage, they're not doing away with anything. They're just giving the states the right. And if you want to have an abortion, go to California where they're going to let you have an abortion up to the time the kid's about 16.
But like somebody said, a lot of people can't afford to just go to California to get an abortion.
Well, then you shouldn't be having sex.
Here's the great Dr. Peterson that is now canceled. Turn that up. First world problems.
That new statement doesn't eliminate the complexity of the situation. Abortion is clearly wrong. Don't think anyone can base that. You wouldn't recommend that someone that you love have one. That new statement doesn't eliminate the complexity of the situation. The first question is should everything wrong be illegal? That's a tough question. Everything that's wrong isn't illegal. Sometimes you're aware there is no good decision left. No matter what you do, it's wrong. So then the question is, how do you get there? Well, let's say you're in a position where you are inclined to seek an abortion. The question is, how do you get there? Now, we have a lot to straighten out about sexual relationships between men and women in the modern world. They're bent and warped and demented out of shape. The discussion regarding the legality of abortion is nested inside a larger discussion about the morality of abortion, and that's nested inside a larger discussion about the proper place of sexuality in human behavior. And to me, that's the level at which the problem needs to be addressed.
So he's saying that we've got our relationships between men and women are out of whack, and that's where you need to be looking at it. Which also goes back to saying, should you have sex before marriage? And that clear-cut answer to that is no, because then you're not in a position to need an abortion. But like he said, sometimes you're in a situation where there are no good options. You're just you pick the least bad option.
Well, like I said, I'm never going to have an abortion.
But you should be able to. Do you think that only women should be able to police one another?
No. I think we ought to have rules that say there are certain cases where someone should be allowed to have an abortion. But when the government is involved, everything's fucked up. Because if you had to go to a board to have it checked out, fuck, your kid would be 16 years old and fix to go to college before they even get to meet to whether they should abort you or not. And the government don't do anything easy. I think that women and men together as a relationship, it's a tough deal. If a girl's let's say 16-year-old girl, and she got pregnant by a 16-year-old boy, and they were just having sex, and she got pregnant. That's a tough deal. I'm against abortion for birth control reasons, but I also am an old grouchy fucker nowadays, and I don't think I should be paying for a kid that's going to be on welfare the rest of his life either. And I think that's up to the mom, between her and God. I really do. I hate to be that way, but
why does the woman get to make the decision?
Because she's the one that's carrying the baby.
Why can't the man? What if the man wants her to keep the baby because he thinks he'll be a good father? I mean, why does he not get a say?
Because she carries the baby. That's the only thing I can come up with. I can't imagine.
But why does the woman, if they had sex together,
I think if
they got into this together, and then all of a sudden we say, well, the man doesn't count in what he wants to do. We're only going to listen to the woman's wishes.
I agree with you on that, but I don't have an answer for it.
What if the woman wants to keep it, and the dad's like, no, I'm not ready for this. I'm not going to be a good dad. You need to have an abortion because you're going to be raising this child alone. And she digs her heels in and says, no, I'm going to keep it. Why is his opinion not valid? Then all of a sudden,
so a man should be able to make a girl have an abortion if she has pregnant with his kid?
I think it should. I don't think that he should be able to make her, but I think it should be. I don't think that she should be the end all be all on the situation. They did this together, and if the guy is saying yes, let's keep it. I mean, you could use it either way.
That's what I'm saying. So
why does the woman?
What is your answer?
I don't have an answer. I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
You're asking me all these, but you don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. It is that's why I'm saying our government shouldn't be abortions, gay marriages and shit. That shouldn't be part of the presidential election cycle. And it is every time. And one of them's base gets further and further left, so the other side goes further to the left. That's what they've done. Barack Obama was against gay marriage in 2008. But then in 2010, he's all for it. You know, he didn't change his mind in 2 years. It was the base changed on him.
Right.
Joe Biden was adamantly against abortions in 1984. Come out against it, said we shouldn't fund it, blah, 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 blah. Well, first of all, Joe Biden don't have a fuck clue what's going on now anyways.
Right.
But the person that's standing there pretending to be Joe Biden, the dementia-ridden Joe Biden, is now completely against abortions. Well, he didn't change his thoughts over, that many years. It's just that their base changes. They don't really change. They don't give two shits. The Democratic Party don't give two shits if women have the right to have abortions or not. 90% of them.
I don't think
and the Republicans don't give a shit either. They don't. Neither side does. It's all about the votes.
Right.
They don't give two shits. The half the guys on the left and ladies on the left that are Democratic, they don't give two shits about gun control. They're just playing people. They play all of us all the time. The people on the right, most of them don't give two shits if you have gun rights anyways.
No.
They just want to get the vote. John Cornyn's the biggest fucking sellout in the world for Texas, in which he voted on some gun control. But abortion, gun control, gay marriage and shit should go to the states. That should be a state deal.
Guns?
Well, that's the right to bear arms. That's a federal deal.
So
yes, it should stay. But all this other stuff should be states' rights. If you want to live in a state that has marijuana, for example. Some states have, you can just buy marijuana on the street, basically.
Right.
Go into a dispensary. You don't have to have you just got to be 18, 21 years old, whatever the rules are on it. I think Michigan's that way. You can just walk into a dispensary and buy marijuana, gummies, whatever you want to do. That's a states' rights deal. It ain't affecting nobody else. If you want to get high all the time, move to Colorado.
Right.
If you can't afford it, then keep buying it off of your drug dealer on the corner. I don't care. But go to places that have that available. So abortions are going to be that way. If you want your daughter 16 years old to have abortion and she gets knocked up, take her to fucking California or Vermont.
Well, what about people that can't afford it?
Well, then they should quit fucking.
Well, that's not an answer.
Well, then I don't know what the answer is. So should we perform? Every state should have them then? Now I'm asking you.
I think up to a certain. I think there should be a cutoff date.
Well, 15 weeks is what is. What's
Florida.
funny is, and then the left's coming out. Oh my God, we could just move to Europe. Well, France, you can't have them after 12 weeks.
Yeah, and did you see he was calling us out?
Who? Macron?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that little frog.
He called us out for the reversing Roe v. Wade. Well,
they have it over there.
And it's way strict. It's way more strict. Like in Florida, I think it's 14 weeks. And over there, I think it's 12 weeks.
Because they all watch the media and they just listen to the media crucify that you can't get an abortion no more. If you get pregnant, that's it. Well, you still have places you can go get one.
But how can the president of a country not know? Why would he put himself out there not knowing all the facts?
They're fucking French. They're the most nutless fuckers in the world.
Yeah.
What happened really best was I think it was what's the lady's name from Georgia that's the Congress lady that's got the balls on her. There's the Bobart lady from Colorado that's got a set of balls on her. She's pretty good looking too.
Right.
And it's the Marjorie Greene Taylor. Mm-hmm. She come out and told that guy that the English guy was asking about gun control. She's like, "Why do you care? You're from England, you know. You know."
Right.
We had a battle with you over gun rights one time,
right.
and we know what happened on that shit. Same with the French, you know. The French people, every person in France ought to send someone in America a thank you card every day for their ancestors, because if it wasn't for us, you'd all be speaking German. And that's a fucking fact.
Yep. But
all of Europe would be speaking. I'm going to tell you right now, Russia would be part of Germany if it wasn't for the United States, because the Germans were so worried about the United States that Russia got in on them. If it wouldn't have been for the U.S. getting involved with World War II, every place would either be speaking Japanese and German, except for United States of America, Mexico, and Canada, probably.
Yep. But I think that abortion is wrong.
I do too. But I think there's.
But I also don't think that it should. I also have read enough books that I know what makes shitty kids, and I know what makes losers in this world, and I know what makes school shooters.
Yeah, we'd have been a lot better off. His mom would have aborted him.
I mean, he was living with his grandma.
Yep.
So obviously something went wrong in his home life, and that's how he ended up there.
You've argued this with me for years. And at first I was adamantly against it. And then the more I started thinking about it, it's right. We got so many people in this country that are on the federal dime, that are on welfare. They raise their kids to be on welfare, and their kids to be on raised welfare. We live in a town where we've got 3 generations of people living in the same places.
Yeah.
And the same life cycle repeats itself over and over and over again. Well, I'm not saying those people should have aborted all their kids. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that eventually we have to realize and be honest with ourselves that we are giving too much and making it too easy for people like that to just keep having more and more kids. They're never held accountable. They don't ever sacrifice stuff. And we talked about this last night with some people, because I have a real hard problem with charity. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't have a problem giving to charity. I'm a very charitable person. I give a lot. I try to help people all the time. I do my best. And I'm not a wealthy person by any means, but I do try to share. Me and Michelle are really good about thinking of others. I have a problem, and there's some people, I call UNICEF is what I call these people. They ask for shit all the time. And it's just socially accepted now to ask for things.
Right. Yes.
And so they think having a kid or whatever it is, it's okay because I don't have to worry about paying it. Mm-hmm. Your wife got pregnant the same time another girl did that she went to school with. It was a couple of years younger, I think, her. And Jessie was telling me one time, she goes, "It makes me so mad that me and Andy have to worry about how we're going to pay for things. Put money back for college for Reese. You know, that's when y'all just had Reese, you know, insurance, whatever it is. You always got to set aside money to make sure he's taken care of." People like that, they don't even think about shit like that. They get pregnant again.
I mean, it's nothing's fair. So
no, life's not fair. But those people don't ever. What are you doing to this thing? You've changed the sound up. It was perfect a minute ago.
I'm just working, Jeff. I'm just working.
But the accountability of people today is crazy because they just get on Facebook like it's a checking account. Right. You know, I need to do this. You know, and so will you please help send some money? And all these people send money to these people. And if you want to send your money to somebody that don't want to do shit for themselves, then knock yourself out. But I'm not doing it. I'm going to send money to people or try to help people that actually I think need help. Because there are people out there that are in horrible situations that do need help. But the average person that's asking for money and stuff doesn't want to sacrifice their own things.
Right. Well, it's just where we are right now.
If you can afford tattoos all over your body, you can afford to pay your kids some shit for your kid. I saw that last night. A guy just asking for some money the other day, and the son bitch had all kinds of brand new tattoos on him. I'm thinking, fuck, how much them tattoos cost?
Take away some of that.
Yeah, get rid of them fucking tattoos and pay for your kids some shit and quit asking people for money. You know? You're down to 3 teeth in your mouth. You know, so you're doing something wrong.
But back to abortion. I don't think that I have a real big problem with late-term abortion.
Yeah, it's horrible.
But, you know, I think you should have to make up your mind by 12 weeks, 14 weeks. Let's say 14 weeks. It's awful. I wish, but like, how long have abortions been going on?
Probably since they figured it out how to do it.
Probably since they figured out how to do it.
Okay, let's talk about this then.
But that doesn't. I mean, and, you know, it was unsanitary, and it was. I'm sure a lot of women lost their lives doing these by themselves. So,
what about the morning after pill? Is that a form of abortion?
I would say no.
If you're on the premises of the evangelicals that it's God's created this egg, and I mean,
but I mean, even the Catholics say that you shouldn't use contraception. So, like, let's that's foolishness.
Do we really look at the Catholic Church for guidance on morals?
Well, I mean, they were the first Christian church, so
No. But I'm just talking about all their problems they have with their priests and little boys.
well, you know,
I mean, that's another.
you're not going
elephant
to get pregnant that way.
Well, that's true, but that's another elephant in the room. It's hard for me to take. There's 99% of the people in the Catholic Church are great people. It's like everything else. It's the 1%.
Well, I mean,
And probably 99% of the priests are great people.
if you look at the way that they just shuffled these guys from parish to parish, and
Covering for them.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
the
if you
horrible part.
got caught in Wichita, Kansas, they would just move you further east or further west until you outran your problems, and then, you know, sooner or later, it all comes back up. But
There's a special place in hell for those people that did that.
there is, because they abuse these kids' trust, because you know, these priests are in a position of authority. And you know the reason that they made them celibate is because they were just doing this to women back in the 16 and 1700s.
That's the whole reason that the priests aren't supposed to be married is because of that.
Yeah, they were duping these women. They were supposed to be celibate. They'd get these women, and you know, they got God's ear, and he would tell them, you know, what God's telling you to do now. Come suck on little Johnny. And then they were like, oh, we can't do that. Like, they're banging all the women. So we'll just make them be celibate. They didn't see this next thing coming. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not in position to make these decisions. But I did see that the Pope said that he agreed with the United States on abortion. So
He should. That's their whole. That's one of their big things, part of their religion.
It doesn't matter to the Methodist Church. The Methodist Church is going to allow gay bishops and priests or preachers, and allow gay marriage in the church. So,
And nobody gets pregnant in a gay relationship.
So I mean,
That's 100% guaranteed.
the Methodist Church is obviously not upholding everything that the Bible says. So
And that's why the splits with the Methodist and Lutheran churches are going on all
that's
over
why
now.
we're splitting. So we will be the global Methodist Church before too much longer.
And that global Methodist church does not believe in gay marriage.
They go by what the Bible says.
Okay.
They go. I mean, you can be gay and go to church, which I think the you know,
Gay does not bother me. That's your choice because it doesn't affect me. I get tired of the gay month shit. I get so sick and tired of Pride Month. You know what? Why do we have to celebrate your sexuality? Okay, so you sleep with men, or you sleep with girls. Who cares? You know?
right?
You know? Do we have a heterosexual month?
Well, probably not.
Ooh, he banged the stewardess. Ooh, let's have to celebrate. That's stupid. I don't understand. We have to celebrate people for being gay or not being gay. If that's what you want to be it. I don't give a shit. You know? Did you see where that Megan Rapinoe chick is going to get a Congressional Medal of Honor for bravery?
No.
Bitch hates America. She came out just last week and said, if you don't like your daughter having to compete against transgender boys, just get over it. High school sports don't mean shit. But then they give her an award. Who are these people? There's someone out there that listens to me and they're like, we'll piss Jeff Stanfield off. Ooh, that's what we're going to do right there.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything that you could do that's just completely stupid, they do. Mm-hmm. And the media just, she's such a brave lady. Why is she brave?
Meanwhile, every 15-year-old boy that's halfway good at soccer could take her job tomorrow if they wanted to.
You know, with the same haircut. I don't get this. I just can't believe in my lifetime the way America has fallen to shit in the last 20 years.
It sure has.
They thought world was getting in 1999. Buddy, I'm going to tell you right now, there is a lot of things since 1999 that have went to shit, and our country is one of them. Quickly.
There was a 100-year-old World War II veteran, and he was just crying. He's like, this is not what I fought for.
No, it's not. And those people should be ashamed of themselves that just think that it's so normal to just give, and everything that's American, they just give it away. You know, we apologize to the Indians or the Native Americans. We don't owe you shit. You should have been better fighters.
Well,
I feel bad for what happened to you. I feel bad, especially like I did in South Dakota, where we gave him stuff. This is your area,
right,
and then we take it away. That's bullshit. I'm with you there on 100%. But you were fighting, robbing, and pillaging, and raping, and doing everything to every other tribe and taking them over. It's not like it was. There's just a new guy come on the block and did the same thing that you were doing, and he was better at it because he had technology.
Right.
You know, the world is such a better place because of the United States of America. We invented the industrial age. We invented everything just about. Now, not every damn thing. I know there's some things that's come from different places, but the United
We did not invent Chinese food.
No, we didn't. But we took the dog out of it. we
made sure it was just chicken.
Yeah. We as a country though have made the world a better place. We anything happens bad in the world, every country looks to the United States for aid and benefit.
Yep.
Everybody
Just like
does.
Ukraine.
Yeah, but that's complete bullshit. That's just washing money over there, and everybody knows it. But that's all. But we do. But we don't owe the Indians anything. Nothing at all. You know. But we want to go back and apologize to them because we built our country.
Right.
You know, you wouldn't have shit if it wasn't for us. We done it. They had been here for 300 or 400 years. Had they gotten on a boat and went to another country yet?
Nope.
I mean, they weren't very much for exploring and moving forward in the process. And they have a lot of things. I respect the Indian on a lot of things. I do. And I always thought being an Indian would be the coolest thing in the world. The guy hunted and fished. The women did all the work. I thought that was pretty fucking smart right there.
We got her set up.
But I don't think we owe any apologies for anybody. But that's all they want us to do. I saw that idiot in Portland arguing with that lady the other day on YouTube, or it's on TikTok or some shit, bitching. But this lady, and she's a fucking liberal fucking yogurt clown. I mean, big time. And she's mad. She's like, tell this guy, you're directing your anger at the wrong person. I'm on your side. And he's hollering at her about colonial. Don't believe your colonial error that you've done and what you've all done to my people and blah, blah, blah. If it wasn't for fucking her people, your ass would be still in a fucking wigwam by a totem pole, fucking eating salmon raw out of a damn water hole. Don't, you know? The world is better because of America, you know? And first of all, I don't think we had much colonialism in the United States of America, did we?
What do you mean colonialism?
When the king of England and stuff, we fought and ended that shit. Just like slavery, we ended slavery. Everybody always wants to gripe that America was born, because of slavery. We ended it.
Well,
what else can we do than we freed the slaves?
We weren't the only country that was participating in slavery.
There's still slavery in Africa in some places.
Right.
But we fought to end it. Our country did.
Well, half the country did.
But we won. The side when we got rid of slavery. What part of that did we get counted for?
None of it.
So we're always going to be the bad guy.
Well, did you see the creator of Friends has pledged $4 million to some?
Who's she giving the money to? Black Lives Matter? Who does nothing for Black lives except for a few select people.
But are the Jeffersons going to go give some? Are they going to give a white organization some money? Is Sanford and Son going to do it?
Oh, the Jeffersons had white people on there too.
There was no black person at all
in Friends.
In Friends, not a one.
I don't remember any of them. I wasn't a big Friends person other than Jennifer Aniston. Didn't care.
Was there?
What about Seinfeld?
Right.
Well, Seinfeld, Kramer's attorney was a black guy.
And he played his part very well. Yes, there was. Jennifer Lewis was the first black character introduced in Friends.
But I don't understand why.
So
okay. What about an all-black show?
But that's what I'm saying.
Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins has a crazy white girl that's married to Michael Epps, which is by far one of my favorite movies of all time.
Well, I mean, that's,
But I mean, that's just life the way it was. Friday. That was all black people.
It should have been.
It's right.
It was hilarious.
It's a great show about a black neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Friends was about 4 white friends. Why is that bad deal? The Cleavers didn't have a black person on there.
Neither did Andy Griffith.
No. But I don't know. That's nuts. Why are we having to do this shit?
I don't know why she would do that.
It's just dumb.
She got 4 people. She had a show. She cast the show based on how she saw it in her mind.
Or where she lived at.
or where she lived at. And that's the people that she cast. It is what it is.
I don't hold nothing against, what's the guy's name in Atlanta that's the real famous?
Tyler
Medea.
Perry.
Great guy. Great shows. He has 99% of his people are black people
And that's,
on his shows.
He's writing from experience.
Yeah, in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
If you've ever been to Atlanta, Georgia, there are no white people. If you see a white person, they're from Atlanta, Georgia, they're lying to you. There are no white people that live in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been in traffic jams there, and there's nobody around me but me. I'm the only white guy.
Right.
I mean, it's just and so any movie that's there, it's mostly black people because that's what a lot of. And yes, there are some white people. Some people's gonna get real mad. Oh, damn it! I know, got a cousin that lives there. Yeah, there are white people in Atlanta, but the majority of the people there are black. Mm-hmm. And I don't get that. I saw where the chick that's in Harry Potter that plays Hermione. What's her name?
I don't know what her name is.
Emma Watson.
But she said she would do another one if the creator of Harry Potter that made her a fucking billionaire wasn't tied to it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, lady.
Emma Watson, nobody knows who the fuck you are hardly, but they know who. Is it J.K. Rowling?
Yes.
That lady is the reason there's a Harry Potter. If she would not have cast you, you would be a no-name actress probably in London or wherever you're from.
Were there any black people in Harry Potter?
Yes, there was.
I haven't seen all the Harry Potter.
There's a couple of them.
I haven't. I mean, like I said, I hadn't seen all the Harry Potter. I've only seen like the first 2 or 3. So.
Yeah, there was a black kid in the first one. He's one of the. He's not a main character though.
Well, I mean, there's only 3 main characters, isn't there? Harry and Hermione.
Well, there's some other ones that have some roles in there, but right. Yes, the main ones are the couple. You know, there's probably 10 main characters in the whole series.
Right.
But yes, she says that she's not going to be in it again. I'll be like, good, I'll fucking write you off as dying. First scene, bitch gets killed.
And the things that they can do with CGI now, and I'm sure that there's some things like using her likeness, but
I don't think she owns her character. They do.
I don't know how it all works.
Another thing I saw that was really funny today, just pushes things. We hadn't done one of these in a while, so.
And we won't do another one until
after Squad Fest. We are booked up solid.
Well, I mean, all of July is
basically booked.
All guests, so
we
must be the only one.
The NCAA, a guy come out yesterday on Twitter. I was reading, and he was complaining because the average NCAA baseball team, only 11.5 players on each team are on scholarship, and it shouldn't be fair that those parents are having to pay for those kids to play ball. Blah 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 blah. That's what I say on that deal. I don't really care, first of all. Second of all, if it wasn't for football, there wouldn't be a college baseball paid for. But most universities could not afford it if it wasn't for college football. I like college baseball. I think it's a great sport. I have lots of respect for the guys that play. But don't start whining to me about your kids not getting full rides to play ball. We've talked about this with these kids getting paid. College baseball is more of a stepping stone to try to go to the pros in any college sport there is. Guys go 1 year and they go to the majors or get drafted.
Right.
They draft 150 rounds of kids, so there's a good chance if you're pretty good, you're going to get a chance to play minor league baseball. If not, you got a hell of experience. And I don't know, like Texas Tech, how many kids they have that are on full ride, or Texas or Oklahoma, but I would bet you that at least 80% of those kids are on some kind of full athletic scholarship.
Probably.
The girls' softball had 12 kids, so they have more than the boys do. Again, there wouldn't be girls' softball if it wasn't for Division I football.
Right.
But they just cannot get over this, and I saw them gripe about that, and I thought, God, I get so sick and tired of hearing about these poor misled college kids. Them boys get laid all the time. They go to the best parties. They have a good time. There, you find a kid that graduates from playing baseball at any big school that's not going to the pros, but he got to start in baseball and play college baseball for 4 years, and you ask him if he would do it again for 4 more years, I'm going to bet you 90% of them would say, hell, sign me up.
He'd probably say yes.
Yeah, they're having a great time.
Did you see Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell are going to box?
That's when you know your football career is over.
Yep.
How much are they getting paid?
I don't know. I bet I can find it.
Yeah, I bet Adrian Peterson whips his ass.
Think so?
Yes.
Adrian Peterson's pretty long in the tooth.
Yeah, he hasn't aged much.
I don't think Le'Veon Bell has either. Adrian Peterson, gay marriage. And that's another thing. Why do they ask these superstars how they feel about certain things?
Because they're dumb enough like I am to answer it.
Oh.
Because they don't have the smart to say, I really don't. I have no comment on that. That'd be the end of the whole deal.
White purse. Just like Joe Burrow.
The gun deal with Joe Burrow has bit him on his ass.
Right.
Went to school at LSU. He's in Cincinnati, which is hunting country.
Yeah.
What they're stupid about the gun control deal is they don't realize the bad people aren't going to go throw their guns away.
Right.
That just ain't going to happen. In Dallas, I guess Fort Worth just did a gun buy the other day back. All they did was a bunch of bunny huggers went and gave Grandpa's gun away that they had in a closet that they was afraid little Johnny's going to see one day. That's who stole their guns back. It wasn't fucking thugs. There wasn't a group of thugs that are selling cocaine. They're like, shit, let's go sell 30 of them AKs.
It doesn't say what their salary is. It just says that they are going to square off.
When are they fighting?
July 30th. I'm sorry.
Are they in an undercard with the kid that's the YouTube guy?
I don't think so. I think it's just
They need to let Snoop Dogg do the commentary because he done really good on that one.
Oh, he's the best. He's the absolute best. They could, and they might do it, I don't know, but they could have Snoop Dogg do a, you know how they did Monday Night Football? You could either watch the main broadcast or Peyton Manning. That's what they should do with Snoop Dogg.
I never watched one of the Peyton Manning deals.
I could watch it for about a half, and then I needed to switch over.
I got chastised yesterday because because I don't know if this Arch Manning kid's the real deal. One of our mutual friends that loves the Mannings told me, well, you just don't like him. I said, there's no guarantee this kid's even going to make it to the NFL.
Right.
Well, how do you know? I said, well, what makes you, how many 5-star quarterbacks make it to the NFL?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
And his answer was?
He's a Manning.
No, well, that was one of his answers, and I love Ryan to death. But this was the other thing he says. I said, well, you don't even know if he's going to beat out Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is the number 1 ranked quarterback in the country his senior year, and he's at Texas in front of him. Yeah, if he'd have been any good, he wouldn't have left Ohio State. I go, what'd Joe Burrow do?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he left Ohio State, and he's been pretty successful in the pros. But I would like to know, just because you're a 5-star quarterback recruit, there's not a lot of guys making the NFL that make his quarterbacks. If Tom Brady's playing 100 years, You took at Tom Brady and you look at Aaron Rodgers and Ben Roethlisberger. All them guys played for a long time. It wasn't like we had 6 5-star recruits coming in every year in the NFL that were making it.
Somebody told me 13 5-stars have made an active NFL roster. Oh, it says after going undrafted. So that wasn't it.
One deal was there's more undrafted free agents in the Hall of Fame than 5-star recruits. Well, yeah, that's pretty. I mean, the numbers are huge, lopsided in favor of the undrafted free agent.
But anyway, somebody said that so Arch is a senior this year, right?
Yeah, he's going to be a senior in high school.
Senior in high school. So Quinn will play this year.
Yes.
Quinn's already. I'm assuming
he'll be a freshman.
Be a redshirt freshman. Quinn will be,
and he can't leave the NFL until one more. He's got to play at least 2 years.
Quinn will play this year
and the next year.
They're going to redshirt Arch next year. Quinn will play next year. Arch will come in, and that will be Quinn's. So Quinn would be a junior, I guess, and then that'll be the year that they. So Arch is not going to do anything for almost 3 more years.
He will not wear a Longhorn uniform in a game unless there's an injury or he's really that good for at least 2 years.
But somebody that I know that has somebody that is in the know says that's the plan.
From Texas, that's what their boosters are trying to sell everybody.
Yes.
If Arch Manning comes there and lights this shit up, then they're going to be like, well, we got a problem, and then we're going to be in the transfer portal for somebody.
They're gonna redshirt Arch his freshman year. They're going to do it.
That's what you and me are thinking.
That's what they're going to do.
If he does not enroll in school in January, that probably will happen then. If that happens, what you're saying is probably what will happen. If he enrolls in January early to go learn that system, then they're going to have a quarterback battle on their hands in the spring. And if he's as good as he says he is, one of them's going to end up in the transfer portal by August.
We'll see what Quinn has this year.
Yeah, he may not be any good either.
Might not
Most
be.
of those kids have turned to bust. You look at the 5-star. If you look at the 5-star recruit, look at 2017 5-star high school quarterbacks. There'll be a list of them, and that'll show you who's around right now that's in the NFL that was a 2017 5-star recruit.
5-star recruit.
Quarterback. Kyler Murray might be one of them. Jalen Hurts might be one of them. I don't know how far back. That's who. But most of those kids don't pan out. I mean, fuck, there's 32 NFL teams. It's not like there's a lot.
Davis Mills was the number one quarterback.
He's starting for the Houston Texans now, and they said he would have been the number one player taken in the draft this year.
Hunter Johnson, Tua, Jake Fromm.
Hold on. Hunter Johnson, never even heard of him. Where'd he go? Clemson?
He's from Indiana. I don't know.
Well, there's a school on the right. It shows what school.
Oh, yeah, Clemson. I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't ever even heard of him. Tua, NFL starter. That's 2. Who else below them?
Jake Fromm.
He's a backup for the Giants, maybe.
Tate Martell.
Well, what a horse's ass that kid was.
Jack Sears.
Nope.
Kellen Mond. Ellinger.
Kellen Mond played at
A&M.
Yeah, and I think he's a backup. I think he's on a roster maybe in the NFL.
Ellinger. Dylan McCaffrey.
Ellinger's in there. McCaffrey is not playing football, or he's not a quarterback. No, I think he's a wide receiver now somewhere.
Miles Brennan. That's your top 10.
Okay. 3 kids are actually in the show, which is really impressive because 2 of them are starters, Davis Mills and Tua, right?
Yeah, but Davis Mills is starter because
He's the
they
real.
don't have anything else.
He's going to be pretty good. They said he would be the first player taken if he'd have stayed one more year.
Well, yeah, that shows you how bad this draft class is.
It was a bad draft case, but he's a legit. He's an NFL player. He's a starter. That's better odds than most of those kids
because they don't have another option.
But he's still a starter in the NFL. So is Tua. Tua has not been any good in the NFL either.
I would say Davis Mills is number 32 in the NFL. I can't think of a worse starting quarterback than Davis Mills.
I'll bet you money this year right now he's a top 26 quarterback. I bet he picks up at least 6 spots this year. I don't think he's that bad. I really don't. He looked really good at the end of the year. I think he's a legit NFL quarterback.
Who's worse than him?
I said by the end of this year coming up, I don't think he'll be.
But that's what I'm saying. Who? I mean, and how are you going to gauge that? Are you going to gauge it by?
I bet he's better than Sam Darnold.
Are you going to gauge it by the Texans' final record?
I think when the year he's going to have respect that he's not that bad a quarterback. I think he's better than Sam Darnold.
I don't know.
Sam Darnold. I don't know that he's not better than Tua. Tua's just in a better situation.
So says you.
What? Tua's in a lot better situation. He's got offensive line. He's got running backs, wide receivers. Nate, who's the starting running back for the Texans right now?
They don't have one.
Okay, who's their starting? Who's
Davis
their number one
Mills.
receiver? Is Brandon Cooks still there?
Brandon Cooks, I think, is still
Who's their
there.
second one? That's what I'm pointing. That's my point right there.
Right.
So he's in a bad situation. Anyways, there's just not a guarantee that you're going to make it because you're the one. So Arch Manning, I'm not sold is going to be in the NFL ever.
Might not be. Might not be.
And I don't know how good Quinn Ewers is.
We're going to find out.
Yep. So we will see. But I'm not. I think the NIL is fucked up football too.
That's what everybody's saying, Jeff.
You think it's good?
Pay these kids. They deserve it.
Why?
Putting asses in seats.
Those asses are going to be in them seats anyways.
Asses in seats.
Tennessee's paying $12 million for that kid to come quarterback from California. $12 million.
It's a lot of money.
And you're saying put asses in the seats. They sell out all their games anyways.
Jeff.
So I don't know about all that. So it's more we're killing our country now with college athletics. Just crazy. The TV is what's changed college football so much.
Why? Because you used to have to.
Back in the day, you had the perennial powers. You had Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State. You had Alabama. You had Tennessee, Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, USC, UCLA. I'm forgetting some people. But, I mean, those are the basics of the teams that were the big teams in the country. Those teams were on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that if your kid went to Oklahoma and played, that he was going to play against Texas
Right.
on a big game. You knew he was going to be against Nebraska. It was going to be on ABC. And you knew he was going to get to play in a big bowl game probably. So 3 times a year, you're going to get to see little Johnny from Podunk, Colorado, get to play on TV, watch football. And you might get to go watch him play once or twice a year because you could go to OU to watch him play. Well, nowadays, every Division II school just about has their games on TV. Mm-hmm. So you can see them on TV. And it's changed the whole recruiting level. And now the NIL is changing it. NIL has probably spread the football wealth out.
It says 2 is 6'1". I didn't know that.
Well, I don't know how he is. So, anyways, we're going to talk football. We're going to have a coach and his son on that's a top recruit in the state of Texas on later this week. So we can talk more football then. Do you think they should outlaw fireworks? There's a big band of people wanting to outlaw fireworks.
Why?
It's dangerous.
Oh, fuck yeah, it's dangerous. That was what Dr. Pearson had another good point. I really like him. How many do more people die from car accidents each year or fireworks?
Car accidents.
Okay.
Not even close.
Well, everybody drives. So that should be the barometer on if you gauge how dangerous an activity is. Everybody drives.
Everybody just about shoots fireworks.
Everybody drives. And if an activity is no more dangerous than getting behind a wheel or hopping in a motor vehicle, then it's relatively safe.
What's more dangerous, driving a car or shooting fireworks?
Driving a car
Is more dangerous.
Fuck yeah, it is. Look at the number of fatalities.
No,
look at the number
you can't
of
go by the
accidents.
numbers.
Look at the
You can't go by that because everybody drives every day. There's millions of people on the road right now.
right.
What are the percentages of you shooting fireworks and getting hurt and you driving a car and getting hurt?
I've never gotten hurt in either.
I've never had anything seriously happen to me shooting fireworks.
But if something is no more dangerous than driving a car,
I don't
it's
think
probably acceptable.
I don't think it should be outlawed. I love the videos of the inner cities, those kids shooting freaking artillery shells and shit at each other.
Right.
I could sit on a building top somewhere and watch that shit all day long and laugh. Did you see the video of the guy playing baseball with the fucking Roman candle?
No, I saw something about that, but I never did watch
Oh,
it.
you pull it up. It is great. Redneck batting practice, fireworks.
Okay.
You're going to laugh your ass off. This is some Blake Poppy shit.
Batting practice. Which one is it?
Let me see the screen. Kind of move it at an angle.
I don't think it's any of these.
Does it say redneck batting practice with fireworks?
It's not there. I think it was a TikTok or something. It's none of those.
Go to, do you have TikTok on there?
No.
Oh, crap. It is greatness. I'm telling you, it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I think it's on Facebook.
Okay, let me go to Facebook real quick. Then we can get off of here so I can play with these audio levels a little bit. Get it more natural sounding. Shooting Gear's coming out with their vest.
Oh, they got the best vest in the world. I just got my new one in the other day.
Redneck
batting practice. With firework. God dang, I know what I said. It's brand no, it's at nighttime.
I know, I've seen the clip. I mean, I've seen the...
Is that your Facebook?
That's mine.
Pull up my name on there.
Why did you share it?
I shared it.
Ba, 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 ba. New studio. Jameson.
It's gonna be after. It's gonna be before that one. Before that one, it's gonna be coming right there. There it is.
There it is. Why do we not have any audio? What's he doing? He's just lighting
Lighting it up. He's having trouble lighting it. This is great. I love rednecks.
Dickhead.
Shoot it at him.
He's way behind it.
Can't shoot it over the plate.
Got him.
That's enough.
Was the little kid throwing it?
Yeah, you shooting at him.
Or shooting it?
Listen to him.
Dickhead.
Oh, that's That's great. There's nothing better in the world to give some rednecks some fireworks.
Well, maybe we should outlaw them then.
If you want to have a good time tonight, go out and celebrate the 4th. Go find you some rednecks and just sit back about a half a mile from them and watch them and have you a nice drink and you will be entertained all night
They're
long.
going to do some fucked up shit, I guarantee you.
Great, especially when alcohol's involved. Everybody be safe. No drinking and driving. Tony went to the rodeo the other night and said they were just lining up people taking them to jail. I don't understand why you cannot do anything without getting so hammered you're a danger to someone else or yourself.
Now that you say that, I'm going to go get hammered and be a dangerous to myself and somebody else.
We'll see you at Squad Fest in 2 weeks. Buy Andy a beer, drink a beer with you until he passes out.
I will do it. The first 2 people that come up, I'll drink a beer with you. I'll watch you drink your beer. I'll be more than happy to do that, but we're going to be...
Just 2?
Yeah, just 2. First 2. That's it. That's it.
Andy, 2 per hour.
No. That's a long day. Last year got away from me because we were doing we're not doing podcasts this year up there, but last year it got away from me because we were talking and people just like the beers just
flowing.
Just kept
Chance
showing
Bass
up.
kept showing up with a whole round all the time.
Yeah, so we're not going to have that problem this year. So like I would be doing a podcast and then like it was never ending, it felt like. So this year I'll be more
Well, I'm hoping
more
the weather
responsible.
is going to be a little cooler this year.
Why would it be? It's a month later.
Well, it doesn't matter, though, all the time. It was awful hot then.
It might be. I mean, it'll be a good time regardless. So we'll see. All right, everybody, we are out of here. Have a happy 4th of July. I'm going to play with these audio levels and get them figured out because they're driving me crazy. So,
I'm going to go home and wish your mother a happy anniversary since I forgot to do that today.
oh, yeah, you ought to do that probably.
Yeah, probably too late now.
Probably so. All right, bye, everybody. Go check out all of our wonderful sponsors. Go check out Boss Shot Shells, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, Gundog Outdoors, Shin Gear Waders, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Bangtail Whiskey, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Dirty Duck Coffee, Ducks Unlimited, and Double T Kennels.
Double T British Kennels.
Double T British Kennels. I need
Go
to
with that.
make my notes better.
What's in here already? It said.